I will go. Perfect. Now I'm going to go and share my screen, and if somebody could give me a wee thumbs up when it's shared so that I know that you can see it. Right, fingers crossed now. Let's see. Thumbs up, Karen. Thank you, Muchy. Thank you, Elaine. Now, this is the bit that didn't work earlier on, but we'll see. Now, yes, marvelous. We are working, we are go. Right, I'm going to crack on because I appreciate all of you for jumping on in your time this evening. And if people do jump on, I'll try and keep an eye on the waiting room at the same time as well. So, welcome to this evening's Overcoming Fear of Judgment call. I hope you are well. If you registered through Eventbrite, a lot of this is going to be in the workbook that you will get, which is this little baby here. It's absolutely packed full of, I can't cover everything in this sort of half an hour session, 40-minute session. Everything is in here that I'm going to cover, and probably a bit more than that, and some workbooks and some things and exercises that you can do, mental exercises, not physical ones, that you can do to help you with this, what I would say is a little bit of a challenge. So this is what I would call the 7 steps to a more confident you. I'm going to go through it quite quickly just because of time, but as I said, you will get this, so all the notes and everything will be in there as well. So don't panic if you think, oh, I was writing that down and I missed something. It's absolutely fine. You will have it all there, and hopefully we will have a recording as well, fingers crossed. Somebody in the waiting room, there we go. Hopefully you'll get the recording as well. So I'm going to crack on. If you have any questions, please do feel free to pop them in the chat. I probably won't look at the chat maybe until the end, but if you put stuff in there, I'll be able to see it. And if we've got time at the end and anybody has got any burning questions, I'll do my best to answer them as well. So today's session, what are we going to cover? So we only have a little bit of time, and this is usually a full day training that I would do. But I want to give you a feel for it. I want you to leave here with a few little ideas, things to think about, things to work on. And as I said, you'll get this workbook as well sent to you on email after the call as well. So this is called the 7 steps. So if you are here, the chances are that you have been or are allowing what other people think about you to hold you back in your life, worrying about what they think, whoever they are, right? Worrying about what they think is such a common thing in life, and it so often is holding people back from actually stepping forward and starting to do things in their life, starting to take some action, whether that's in your personal life, in your business life, in your private life, with your family, with your partner, with your kids, with the neighbors, anything. There is so many times where we want to speak up and we don't. We want to post something and we don't. We want to make a change in our lives and we don't. And the reason that we don't is often I'm worried what they'll think. And I hear it over and over and over in all of the coaching that I do so often, particularly women, for whatever reason, particularly with women, we just worry about what the world thinks about the way that we show up. And for a long time, I would suspect with most of you and all of us, it's probably held you back in your life from actually moving forward and taking some steps to change that. So I want to help you to do that. We're going to look at some goal setting stuff. Again, that is whole training that I would do on its own. So I'm just going to cover the importance of that. We're going to look back on when you did have confidence. When was that in your life? And you might be thinking, I never had any confidence, but I promise you, at 1 or 2 points in your life, you definitely did. I'm going to take a look at how we lie to ourselves. And it's actually baffling and a little bit scary sometimes to look at how much the little voices in our ears that we hear are us lying to ourselves all the time. Then I'm going to look at how do we start to learn to care less, right? So this isn't a wake up in the morning, suddenly we don't care what anybody thinks about us, right? It's human nature to be concerned about what other people think. However, the issue isn't worrying about or thinking about what other people think. The issue is when we care so much that it stops us from taking an action or from doing something, right? So how do we learn to actually move forward and learn to care less about what other people think about what we do and who we are? Choosing your inner circle. So I'm going to cover that in much more detail than on here, which is about who do you have around you? These days in 2026, it's not just physically who's in your space in the real world, but also in here. Who are we looking at? What are we reading? What are we consuming through our social media, right? These days, that is also part of your inner circle. being good to your inner child, the young version of you. Are you being kind to her? Are you talking to her in a nice way? And then also looking at taking some action. What does life look like when we have more confidence? So hopefully that is what you were expecting and a little bit more. Okay. So, very, very brief overview of who I am. My name is Emma Snedden. I have been working in coaching and mentorship for, it says 15 years there. It's actually probably quite a bit longer than that, really. But specifically in terms of doing this as a business, has been around 15 years. Prior to that, I also had a career in corporate sales and management, which was involving team building and all that kind of thing. So there was a lot of mentorship and coaching within that role as well. So I absolutely love this space. I absolutely love what it allows us to do. And I love seeing that progression in people. It's an absolute passion of mine, which is why I do this as a starter call, just to give you a feel of some of the stuff that we can achieve together. I used to be a competitive swimmer, so I'm used to being in my own head, up and down a pool twice a day for 4 hours, all the way through my teenage years. I'm also an Ironman, so I'm used to a lot of time alone. And it's actually the reason I put that in there is because quite often as women, we're a little bit scared to be by ourselves, to be in our own headspace. And it's such a good place to be when you're happy with who you are. Being comfortable to be by yourself and be on your own is such a powerful thing. I also worked as a barrister for a long time, but all of this stuff is just to show you can read it there, that I have a lot of experience. You're in really good and safe hands. Oops. This is where the thing stopped earlier on as well. It's not scanning through anymore. Okay, so not to worry. I do not know why this keeps crashing when I'm trying to share it. So what I'm going to do, rather than, let me see if I can, I do not understand why it does that. I wonder if I press enter. There we go, try it that way. So what can I help you to achieve? Firstly, standing up for yourself. If you're just jumping on, I'm going to whistle stop tour through this for those of you who've just joined us, but you will also get a booklet sent to you on email as well. So don't worry if you've missed the start. Standing up for yourself, your dreams, your values, and realizing, ladies, your voice matters. How often have we wanted to speak up and not? Even in family situations, quite often, I think, actually in family situations, you want to speak up, but you don't. You might be at work and you've got an opinion and you don't voice it. Why is that? What is the thing that stops you from speaking up? It's fear. It's worrying about, what if I speak up? What will they think? So learning how to stand up for yourself, your dreams, your values, the things that you want to achieve in your life. Doesn't matter whether you're 6, 16, 56, 86, you're still allowed to have dreams and values, and sharing those with people with confidence. Waking up grateful, full of strength, hopeful, regardless of outside frustrations. Now, you might be thinking, what on earth that got to do with self-belief and self-confidence? Well, actually, the more frustrated, angry, worried we are about things, the less confidence we have in ourselves. And it's really difficult then to show up in your own life, whether it's at work or at home or in wherever it is that you want to show up, when you're fearful, when you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you're worried. And one of the things that's really powerful to kind of fix that or help with that is learning to flip it into gratitude. What can you be grateful for in that moment? And the reason for that is because gratitude and frustration, for example, they don't sit side by side. You can't feel them both at the same time. So learning and teaching and practicing, forcing yourself, what can I be grateful for in this moment, will really help you to get past those times of fear. And a lot of this stuff, you have to, a bit like if you remember learning to drive, you have to really be clunky. It's like mirror, signal, maneuver. Remember these things. It's like you practice them until they become natural, and you do them automatically. Loving what you do and finding the good in it, the blessing in it, no matter what. So what do we get to do? So thinking about things that we get to do rather than what we have to do. So often we'll be like, I have to pick the kids up from school, or I have to go to work. Well, actually, can we find a way to say instead, I get to take the kids to school. I get to cook dinner again. I get to go to work. Because when we learn to love the things that we get to do, then you can find the blessings in it and understand that actually you become a happier, healthier person when you love what you do. Seeing the good in everyone and loving without expecting anything back. And I really want us to learn how to do that together. So there is pretty much good in everyone, right? And I know sometimes you're thinking, oh my God, like X, Y, and Z, these people, there's no good in them. There really is. There's not that many really, really, really evil, bad people in the world, right? There's a few, of course, but in our own day-to-day life, there might be people that we don't get on with quite so well. But when we learn to see the good in people, find the good in them, and also to love the people that we want to love and need to love without expecting anything back, it frees us. It sets you up to feel, it's like lifting a weight off your shoulder, because you see that, you know, in that moment, somebody might be behaving in a particular way, but you can see the good in them, and you will start to be more confident when you see the good in other people. Living your life your way, even when others don't agree. So this is really, really important. How many times have we held ourselves back, not shown up the way we want to do, not pursued the career that we wanted to pursue, not pursued the relationship that we wanted to pursue, because mom, dad, friends, relatives, partners didn't agree with us, didn't think it was a good idea? I would suggest on this call, without exception, we are all grown adults now at this stage, right? So living your life your way is your choice. You can make your own decisions about where you want to spend your time. You can make your own decisions about what you want to do with your life and where you want to spend your money. All of those things, we only have this one life, right? And it's yours. And it's, for some reason over the years that we'll cover, like, we lose the confidence sometimes of being able to say, actually, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. And this is how I want to show up. And you can live your life your way, even when other people don't agree. You have that power that is within you, and it's okay. Right? Giving yourself the permission to do that is so powerful. Along with number 6, which is stepping out of your comfort zone every day. I'm sure at this stage in your life, you've probably heard people talk about comfort zone, living in your comfort zone. We don't get any growth in our comfort zone, etc. But the truth is, we do grow when we stretch. When we stretch ourselves, when we look forward, have vision, are aiming for a goal, looking to move forward in some way, whether it's personally or professionally, that does really help you to actually take those steps that you're a little bit scared of. I also do a training, as I said earlier, around goal setting, which is a much bigger thing around this, but it's also, it's not just, you know, it's a very masculine goal setting, isn't it? It's very like, you know, achieve. What's the thing? How are we doing it? And actually, I think it's much more, particularly as women, we want to look much more at what are the steps along the way? What do I want to get to? But how do I stretch myself to get there? What, recognizing achievement along the way and stepping out of our comfort zone to do that. So I'm really passionate about helping people to do that. Seeing your gifts and using them before they go to waste. What do I mean by that? Well, I definitely think that, in fact, I know that we all have gifts that we've been given, right? Whatever universe that you believe in, right? That we all have gifts, but quite often people never discover the gifts that they have in life because they don't put themselves in situations, because they're afraid of where they'll find those gifts. So you might be, for example, a fantastic singer, a wonderful singer, but if you never sing out loud, you never try, or you never put yourself in that position, how are you ever going to find out that that is a talent that you have, a gift that you have? You might be a phenomenal public speaker, but if you don't, it's okay. If you don't put yourself in a situation where you are able to public speak, for example, or able to try that, that's just an example of a gift or a talent that you might have. You might go to your deathbed without ever discovering that you had that talent and that gift. So using your gift, finding yourself, and this is where so often when we worry what other people think, we never discover what we're truly capable of, because we never actually gave ourselves a chance to find those things out. Okay, and then the final 2, surrounding yourself with people who are in your corner. What do I mean by that? So who are you hanging about with, right? Who is in your phone? Who is in your house? Who is the people that you think about? Who are the people that are supporting you or should be supporting you? So the people who are in your corner. So when I say in your corner, I want you to think about like a boxing ring, right? If you look at a boxing ring, there's red and blue. And the people that are in their corner are like, you can do it, you got this. Like going, really encouraging, really supporting, like the people in their corner. The people in the opposite corner are doing the same for those people. They're not supporting each other. So who have you got that's in your corner? Who are you surrounding yourself with? The people, everybody that's around you that you allow access to you should be one of those people who is in your corner, building you up, supporting you, telling you can do it, asking you how you're getting on, giving you the fire underneath you to keep going all the time. As we go through our lives, we quite often surround ourselves with people who don't do that for whatever reason. But my also challenge to you is, are you that person for somebody else as well? So it's one thing to expect it from our partners, parents, loved ones, but are you doing that for them? Or are you saying, no, you need to be more realistic, not encouraging and not supporting people? So surrounding yourself with people in your corner, it literally will bring you on. But the opposite is also true. If you are surrounding yourself with people who do not support you, that's why you're scared to speak up. That's why you're not stepping forward. That's why you're not moving forward, because you're not in a sea that's rising. You're in a sea that's holding you back. So it's so important. But also, as I said, it's not just physical. What are you reading? What are you looking at? What's on your phone? Who's in your circle, in your corner, virtually as well? And then the final one of these is knowing the power to change your life is in your own decisions. So you control you, right? You control your world. So you can change it. This is one of the, if not the most powerful thing that I ever realized, was that I'm in charge of me. My emotions, my feelings, my reactions, all of those things are mine. And so often you'll hear people saying, he made me feel like that, she made me feel like that made me feel like this. All of those things are giving all of that power in your will to somebody else, to the virtual world, to a partner, to a parent, to a child, whatever. And actually, I want you to start taking that power back. Because when you realize, okay, so somebody might say something or do something that makes you in the moment feel like something. So somebody might say something, makes you angry, cut you up in traffic, gets you frustrated, for example. In that moment, that's an initial reaction. Everything after that is a choice. If you're still angry now about something that happened this morning, that's been choice since that happened this morning. The initial reaction when your kid left the towel on the bathroom floor was to be annoyed. If you're still annoyed about it now, 12 hours later, that's all been choice. That's been annoying you all day. Your kid's gone off and had their own day and forgotten all about it, right? The only person left annoyed is you, right? That's a really trite example, but it's the same. Once you realize that you have the power to decide, and actually it's taking responsibility for that. So the next time you hear yourself saying, she made me feel like this, or he made me feel like that, or that, they didn't make you feel like anything. We chose that emotion from that point forwards. But do you know what that means? We can choose the opposite one. We can choose a better one. And suddenly, like that, you have all the power back in the power of your decisions. And it's one of the most powerful things. Are we all still with me? Good, excellent. Right, so getting yourself ready. Number one, setting your goals. As I said, this is a whole coaching training session of its own. So I'm just going to show you the importance of it. In order to achieve something, you need to understand what it is you're trying to achieve. Make sense? So we need to know what we want. That bit's quite straightforward, right? Probably all done some version or another of goal setting in our lives. But what I want you to think about is, what does it look like when you get there? Whatever the goal is, why do you want it? What's it going to feel like when you get there? What does the confident version of you look like when you achieve that thing? So understanding what your goals are is just one part of it. And it's quite often that's where we stop. I want the car, I want the house, I want the job, or whatever it might be, relationship, blah, blah, blah. But we don't actually ever then look at what's it going to feel like when I get there? Do I really want that? Or is it just like something on a step to something else? And then living in that virtually in your brain and thinking, what's it going to feel like when I actually do that or achieve that? And understanding then, who do I need to have around me to do that? When you do the goal setting part of this, which again, like I said, it'll be in here, what you'll realize, the impact of low self-confidence holds you back from achieving those things. Whatever age you are and whatever stage you're at in your life, with your family life, your relationships, etc., the impact of low confidence has held you back from achieving those things, because otherwise you'd have achieved them by now. So we need to look at, why have we not done those things already? What's been in the barriers that we've had? And also, what impact has that had on the people around us? Friendships, relationships, family, etc. Okay, step 2, looking back at when you had supreme self-confidence. Now, some of you might be able to go, I remember that exactly. I applied for the job, I got it. I went after the guy and I got him, whatever, right? But for a lot of us and a lot of the women that I work with, they can't remember. I was never confident. I was never confident. I've never had any self-belief. Well, do you know what? It's not true. We all, when we were young, at some point or another, had confidence as a toddler, as a small child. I was in the supermarket this morning and I was looking at a little girl with her mum. In fact, she was with her dad, and she was saying, Daddy, look at this, Daddy, look at this, Daddy, look at this. Can we get this? I want to show you this. Daddy, look at this. I could wear that. It was, and some people might look at that and think that's quite an annoying thing for a child to do. I don't see it that way. I see it as the confidence that child has to speak up, confidence in the relationship she had with her dad to be able to say, look at this, look at this, look at this. Like when you ask a child what they want to do with their life, they have no filter. They're just like, I want to be a mermaid, I want to be a fairy, I want to be an actress, whatever it might be. Why are they like that? Because nobody, as yet, hopefully, has told them that they can't. Whereas with us, as we've gone through, we were like that. At some point in your life, you were that little girl. But over time, school teachers, parents, friends start knocking that out of us. You can't do that. You can't achieve that. You'll never be anything, blah, blah, blah. Little bit. Sometimes it's big bits, but usually it's chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away. So I want you to remember that you were like that. And if you've been like that, it means you can get it back. Right? It means that you can actually find her again, feed into her again, lean into that again, and start to quieten down these voices over here that say the negative stuff and raise up the voices over here that say the louder stuff. So lying to yourself. We probably all do it, right? More so than we should and more than we even realize. Those little voices, I don't deserve to be happy. I'll never achieve anything. I'm rubbish at that. I can't do this. I'm not bright enough. I'm not clever enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not skinny enough, blah, blah. She's better. All of those things that little voices in our heads. That is you talking to you, right? Again, what does that mean? It means you can change the voice, you can change the words. So instead of these things, these are the opposite. We want to be saying, I don't deserve to be happy. Nobody likes me. My opinion doesn't matter. Nobody cares what I think. And you feel yourself going like this, right? While you're saying it. Are we the best at everything? No. You could be, unless you're the #1 golfer in the world, there's people better at golf than you. And even on the day, there'll be people better at golf or whatever it is than you. That doesn't mean that you can't be the best. It doesn't mean that you can't do something, right? So looking at these things, and actually, I want you to take that phrase, flip it, and embody that into your life. How can you start to do this stuff differently? And it is, you have to, again, like I said, it's like learning to drive. You catch yourself in the words, catch yourself saying it. Quite often it's in our heads, these words. We're not saying them out loud, are we? Whether just in here, right? But actually, the next time you hear yourself saying, nobody likes me, I'm not good enough, I'm not clever enough to do this, oh God, I can never achieve that, right? Flipping it, how does that sound when you say it the other way around? I don't deserve to be happy. Flip that on its head. Absolutely, you deserve to be. I owe it to myself to be happy. I have this one life, this one that I'm living right here, that's it. Isn't it your responsibility to make that the best that it can be? It's nobody else's responsibility. It's yours, mine, to make this right. You owe it to yourself. Nobody likes me. Well, I mean, that's just not true, is it? It just isn't true. Does everybody like everybody? No. I don't like everybody, right? We don't. It's human. We're human beings. We have choice. But we don't need to focus on the people that don't. That's on them. That's up to them. Focus on the people that do. And when you start thinking like that, who do you have in your corner? Who are those people that like you, love you, care about you? They're the ones that count. My opinion doesn't matter. Question that in yourself. Why not? I don't care what the situation is or how better educated or better informed somebody else might be. Why would your opinion not be as valid as somebody else's? It's just as valid. It doesn't mean they have to agree with you. It doesn't mean that you're right or they're right. But you're allowed to embrace your opinion. So when you feel yourself thinking, oh, I can't speak up because nobody really wants to hear it, they do. Your opinion absolutely matters just as much as anybody else's. Everyone has insecurities. So we all think other people on social media, in the real world, on the school run, better, fitter, prettier, blah, blah, blah. Everyone has insecurities, even those people. The confidence that you need is to not let those things hold you back, not let those things stop you. Are you making the best of what you do have instead of looking at what everybody else has? And questioning how good we are at things. We're useless at this. I'm no good at that. It's impossible. You can't be useless at everything. I'm sure you are fantastic at so many things. If you're not sure what your skills are, ask someone who you care about, partner, child, parent, loved one, friend. What do they think you're good at? Your skills aren't necessarily always like singing, dancing, writing a book, public speaking, whatever. It might be you're a great listener. It might be you're a great friend. These are really important skills to have. What does that mean? If someone says, actually, you know what, you're a great listener, that means you're great at being somebody, being there for people, you're a great friend, etc. So we all have these talents, and I want you to start really leaning into what they are. Step 4, learning to care less. Why do we care so much? Why do we? Because we can't help it. We're human. We worry a little bit too much. This isn't, I would love to say to you, here's a magic pill. Tomorrow morning, you're not going to give 2 hoots when anybody thinks about anything. That's not realistic, right? Of course, we're human. We want to be loved. We want to be liked. We want to be successful. We want the world to care about us. The more important thing is that you love you. You care about you. You know that you're a good person. You know that you're moving forward. And actually not allowing the perceived, and that's a really important word, the perceived opinions of other people to hold you back. This saying by Mark Twain is one of the most powerful ones. If we worried less about what other people think of us, we'd realize how seldom they do. Take that out into the world with you. If we worried less about what other people think about us, we'd realize how seldom they do. The fact of the matter is, people are not really generally thinking that much about us one way or the other, right? I am sure that you don't live your life worrying about or judging everybody else, what she's doing, what he's doing, what they're saying, what you might, as you're scrolling through social media, think, oh my God, what's she wearing? Or you might think, oh my God, but it's like that, right? It's passing. It's not living in you. People are not thinking about you. You start a business, you get a new job, you go out with the guy. Most people, they have no opinion whatsoever, none. And yet we allow the perceived opinion that they might have, whoever they are, to stop us from doing those things. They don't care, right? Not really. And when we worry about what other people think, they start to own us. And they own us and they don't even know us or care that much, right? But we allow that to happen. But actually realize, here's an example for you. Group photograph, right? The last time you had a group photograph at a wedding or party, whatever, click. There's 10 of you in a photograph. And someone goes, oh, have a look at that. You're happy with that picture? Who do you look at? Yourself. Who's the first thing we look at in that picture, right? How do I look? My eyes are open, my hair looks nice, my bum's not too big. Yep, that's a perfect picture. Because that's what that really is. The only thing that we really worry about is what we need, what we think about ourselves. And everybody in that picture is doing the same thing. All 10 of you, just look at yourselves, right? That's human nature, because we're not worried about everybody else. Now you might, I might keep an eye on, or Rebecca and go, actually, Rebecca, you might want to get that one taken again because you've got your eyes closed or whatever. But in reality, most people are only thinking about themselves. I hope you see how powerful the understanding of that is. Write it down, stick it on the wall, put it on your screensaver on your phone. We worry less about what other people think if we realize how seldom they do. They just aren't. They just aren't really worrying that much. So we need to stop letting things bother us. Okay, this is a really good exercise that you can do. Again, it's in the book. Write a list of everything that's bothering you. Get it all out of here. Brain dump. Now, it could be everything from global warming down to pants on the bathroom floor, down to what's for dinner, anything and everything in between. The things that are niggling at you, worrying you. Get them all out onto a bit of paper and then ask yourself, can I influence it or change it? Do I have any power over that thing whatsoever? Quite often I don't know, let's take an example, current example. I don't like Andy Burnham, the new Prime Minister. I'm not saying I don't, right? But say that's the thing in your brain. Oh, I think he's going to do a terrible job, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. Can you change or influence that right now? No. Maybe when there's a general election or further down the line or whatever. But in general, we can't really do very much about who's running what. I don't even live in England, but whoever running whichever country we live in. If the answer to the question is yes, so it might be pants on the bathroom floor. I'm sick to death of picking up pants off the bathroom floor or wet towels off the bathroom floor. It's annoying me. It's making me cross every day. Can I influence or change that? Yes. Do I need to have a couple of awkward conversations? Do I need to put my foot down? Probably. But if you can influence or change it, then do. If you can't, then why are you worrying about it? Why is it living rent free in your brain? If you can't do something about anything, if you can't make any changes, forget about it. It doesn't matter. Those little monsters, that's what I call them, those little things that live here in this little, in your ear, whittering at you, talking at you, those little things, you need to squash them when they're little, because if you don't squash those voices when they're little, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and suddenly they're loud. And you're worrying about things and keeping you awake at night, and you can't do anything about it anyway. And if you can do something about it, then do. And if you can't, it's the Dalai Lama that came up with that, and he's a brighter guy than me, right? So that's what it is. That's such a powerful thing. And when you have this list, cross out the ones you can't do anything about, and then figure out, how do I do something about the ones, and then prioritize them. And that will really help you to figure out what's important and what do you need to do next. And hopefully we can move on from here. I think it's when somebody joins the call, it gets a bit stuck. Oh, 1 second. So this is my one now. Can I do something about it? Yes, I might have to log out of this and just go on to the next one. Let me just see now if I do it this way. Apologies, guys. My screen has frozen. There we go. Okay, choosing your inner circle. I touched on this a little bit earlier. So hopefully you already have a sense of how important this is. The people you have around you will be the culmination of the person that you become. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. Like, that's quite a powerful realization. And if those people, if you want to be something, if you want to achieve something, you want to go somewhere, if you've got vision for your life and you have goals that you want to achieve, do the people around you live like that also? Or are they quite happy just going to the pub every single Thursday night for their whole lives, and they're comfortable with that, and that's absolutely fine, but they're not visionary like you want to be? It's really important that you are hanging out with in the real world and on here. Like I keep saying, this is also important in terms of who you're hanging out with virtually on your social media, the people in your life, because you'll become like them. You become like the average of those people. So think about the people that you have around you. What are they adding to your life? Do they deserve to be a major influence on it? Like I would say everybody's got to add some value somewhere, right? Somewhere. It might be different levels at different times, but the people that you have around you who you're allowing to influence you, are they the right people? Choose your 5 carefully. If I'm going to be like the 5 people that I hang around with, you better be sure I'm making sure they're the right people, because I want to be going somewhere, achieving something. So they need to be going somewhere and achieving something for me to become like them. Who deserves that to be in? That doesn't mean we don't hang around with anybody else, right? That just means, who are the 5 people that I'm actually spending that quality time with, that I want to, be around? And, the people that you're like a sponge around them, and they should be like a sponge around you. Who brings positivity into your life? Who is positive, ambitious, supportive, fun, all of those things. And the caveat to that, and I hear it so often, oh, but he's been my friend for ages. She's been my friend since I was 4 years old. Okay, that's fine. And she can be your friend forever. But long service isn't a reason to have somebody with you in your corner all the time, because they maybe have been holding you back all that time. So you might have somebody around you, and it can be a bit spiky, this one. People are like a little bit like, oh, but I really want you to understand the importance of it, because if you're sharing your vision and your goals and your hopes and dreams for yourself with people who are like, no, what are you doing that for? Well, you'll never achieve that. Oh, that's what people like us don't do, that sort of thing. People in our house don't go to university, or whatever it might be. They're not one of your 5. Sometimes we need to break the mold. Sometimes we need to just go, that's okay if no one's ever been to university before, but I'm going to go. And I'm going to go and find some other people who are doing that. I love you, I care about you, but I'm not going to I don't share all my hopes and goals and dreams and visions with everybody that I know. because and some of those people are the closest to me in terms of like my family. I might not tell them everything because I don't think they'll get it, but that's okay. But you can do it anyway. Share your vision and your goals with the people who are going to want that for you, to help you, right? Are going to be in your corner. Being good to your inner child. I touched on this earlier. Don't say things to yourself that you wouldn't say to your own child, to somebody else's child. These voices in our heads, it's you, they're your voice. These are the things you want to be saying, the things to yourself that you would build your confidence. So when you hear yourself saying things like you're not clever enough, would you say that to a small child, to your 5, 6, 7-year-old child heading off to school? I know you got your stats, but you're not really clever enough to pass them anyway. You just wouldn't. Right? We would never do that. We'd be like, do your best. You're enough. You know, you've done your best. You would be building them up. So we need to do that for ourselves, because if we're going to try and do that for other people, we have to be that support network for ourselves as well. So if your inner voice is saying you'll never be successful, you'll never achieve those things, that's not for you, you need to flip that into, I am clever, I am enough, I can do this, I am successful, I will be able to fill in the blank. Quite often we think we don't deserve something. I don't deserve that. I genuinely find that a real struggle to understand why anybody would think they don't deserve something. Why not? Why would you not deserve something any more than anybody else? So when you hear that little voice that says that, I want you to change it to like, I am awesome. I'm actually amazing. I really deserve this. Why not me? When you hear the little voice that says you're useless or you can't achieve anything, or change it. I can achieve anything. I am telling you here and now, girls, you can achieve anything you want. Anything. You might have to put some things in place. You might have to learn a new skill. You might have to go on some training courses, whatever it might be. But if you want to learn to speak Russian, you can learn to speak Russian. If you want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, you can climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Could you do it tomorrow morning? Probably not. But you could start to put some things in place to let you achieve that. There is nothing that you can't achieve if you put your mind to it, but you have to start saying that to yourself. The reason I believe that is because I'm like a crazy woman in my car saying these over and over and over and over and over because it becomes the truth. What we repeat to ourselves becomes what goes in here. So if I hear myself saying, I can't do that, then I force myself to say, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Can I play golf right now? No, I choose not to. If I want to learn, I'll go and learn. Okay, so really understanding and believing, but it takes practice and time. Believing everyone's better than us. Oh, she's better than me at that. He's better than me. Okay, they might be better at it than you right now, but that's okay. It doesn't make you not a good person, right? You can be, do, and have absolutely anything that you want when you love your life. And I truly believe a lot of this comes from loving ourselves, loving our life, whatever it might be. And you might be right now in the depths of crapness, right? You might be. Been there, right? You might be really struggling with things that nobody knows about, but there'll be something in your life that you can love. There'll be something you can wake up and think, do you know what? It might even just be that I woke up this morning, and how lucky is that? Because not everybody did. When you learn to love your life, it doesn't mean you don't want to change it. It doesn't mean you don't want to grow. It doesn't mean you don't need to fix some things. But loving your life and loving yourself is the foundation for all of that. Right? It's the foundation for all of it, because everybody has shitty things. Everybody has challenges. Everybody has struggles. Everybody has things that come and go. But the foundation underneath, if you love yourself and you love your life, it doesn't really matter what comes in. If you have that support network around you, if you're surrounded by people who build you up and believe in you, other things will come in and out like that. Other people, other experiences, challenges. But it doesn't faze you, because you know that you've got everything in here that it takes to move forward with that. So loving yourself is where it starts. And if you have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it in your car or in the place that you hang out over and over and over till you believe it, that's what I suggest you do. Because that's what I do. Even now, when I'm struggling with something, you'll see me in my car and I'll be like, everything's happening the way it's supposed to be, Emma. Everything's just going exactly the way it's a challenge at the minute, but we got this. Because you do. Take an action. Like I said, this is like whistle stop. I speak really fast. Sorry. Right. This is scratching the surface of what is possible for you. But it starts by taking some action, doing something, getting this book and making sure you work your way through it, reviewing everything that we've covered. How can you step forward? What are the things you need to work on? There might be 1 or 2 things that I've covered here that you think that and that, they're the things that resonated with me. What was the thing that resonated with you the most? Go to work on that first. I'll cover it at the end, but if you want to work one-to-one with me, reach out to me, send me an email and we can figure something out. I have group courses and individual one-to-one coaching that I do. I try and do a very personalized approach. So I'd rather speak to you directly and say, this is what I think would be best for you. But feel free to drop me an email if you want to work on some of this stuff with me. But do this, regardless of if this is all you do and you just go away and work through the booklet, that will help. Okay, that will be enough to get you started. So use the time. Give yourself, please, the gift of time. As women, we are terrible, aren't we? For like, oh, put ourselves last. I've got too busy doing this. And I still do it too. Here, there, and everywhere, looking after everybody else. Shut the door. Put your headphones in. Spend an hour working on you. Everybody around you will benefit when you get like this. Everyone around you is going to start seeing you differently. Your kids will benefit, your partner will benefit, your work colleagues will benefit, your boss will benefit, because you'll start to stand taller and be better. Okay, so what does the action plan look like? It looks a bit like this. Again, this is in the book, so don't worry about sort of remembering this. But it's really important to not just, oh, I want to be confident. I want to not care what other people think. I want you to start looking at, like, what will life look like when you do that? What does life look like? Who's in my corner? What's the truth in the things that I keep telling myself? Creating the best version of you, getting those affirmations, leaving this call stronger than you came into it, and having an action plan. Picturing what your life is going to look like. What do you feel like when you're more confident? What language do you use? Where are you spending your time? What kind of friends do you have? What are the emotions that you take into the world with you when you are this person? When you're living a more confident life. And this is a really good exercise that's in the book. The confident me is, the confident me does, the confident me feels, the confident me, says. So that you can start to recognize when you do move forward. Like I said, if you've got goals and you want to be super confident, you want to care less what other people think, what's life going to feel like when you're like that? And how are you going to recognize her when she shows up, right? Because she's not just going to be there in the morning. This is a work in progress. I still have moments where I have self-doubt, of course, right? But I know how to pull myself out of it. I know the things that I need to do to make myself feel better, to make myself go on a journey. So it's really important that you understand oh gosh, the first time you walked into a room or you made the phone call that you didn't want to make, or you advocated for somebody else. Maybe you've had to advocate for a child and you're like, oh, I'm so scared to like speak back to the doctor or whatever it might be, but you do it because someone's relying on you and you're like, oh my God, I did that, right? Recognizing what the confident version of you looks like when she shows up so that you can welcome her in, right? And encourage her to come back more often. Realizing who's in your corner. I hope that I've helped you to see how important it is, the people that you have around you, the books that you read, the films that you watch, the social media that you consume. You control your algorithm. I am forever clicking on see less like this, hide this person, don't follow that one, whatever. The things that you see will be a reflection of the stuff that you're watching. So if you're seeing lots of stuff you don't want to see, it's because you're watching stuff that you don't want to be watching, right? So your algorithm is yours to control. So if somebody is pulling you down, it doesn't mean you don't like them, but maybe they're posting, I don't know, political stuff that you're not interested in, or that makes you feel less confident for whatever reason. Just unfollow it for a little while. Don't look at it, right? They're in your corner too. It's not just the physical people that you're with, but they are the most important. Who is around you? Who's in your team, right? I want you to think about this as a team. Do you remember at school when you like picked a rounders team or a netball team? You wanted the best 6 people to work on your team. This is your life team. Who are the people in your team? You want the best. So have a look at your team and be honest with, like, are they the right people? If not, maybe now's the time to change it a little bit, move it around a little bit, and deciding who you want to be. Create that person. Like, art's not my forte for sure, right? Draw a stick woman, right? Little skirt, little arms, and write all around her, all around your little stick version of you, what you want to be, who you want to, what does the confident version of you look like, and create her. Take everything you've learned today, and I hope that you've got stuff that you can take away from today directly, and start setting an action plan for yourself. Use the worksheets, use the book, decide what you're going to change. pick one thing that you can do. It might be squashing the monster when it's little. I do this physically, like it's an actual physical thing. Shut up. Right? The little voice. I'm not even listening. I'm not listening. Right? I don't want to hear it. My little monster voice starts telling me, you know, who are you to do this and that? And who are you to post like that on your social media? Who are you to do a blog? And who are you to have a YouTube channel? And right, all of that. I'm not listening. I'm literally not listening to her because that's me talking to me. It's all my preconceived ideas about myself talking to me. I'm not listening to her because this version of me wants to move forward. This version of me if I listen to her, I won't be able to help you. And helping you and people, like that's what I want to do. So it's important, not just for me, but for the people that I work with and the people that I want to work with and the people I haven't found yet, that I don't listen to the little voices, right? Fingers in ears and move forward and decide what you're going to change. So what action do you want to take? What movement do you want to have? What life do you want to live? And I really hope that over the last little while, the grey matter started to tick. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. Maybe I could change these things. Maybe that could work for me. If you want to reach out to me directly, that's my email address there, hello@emmasnedden.com. All my socials, everything is just my name. Way more straightforward than anything else, right? So just Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything is just Emma Snedden. And my email is hello@emmasnedden.com. If you want to email me directly and do some follow-up or figure out a way to follow up with me, then we can do that directly. I hope you found that useful. We're going to wrap up now. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to stop recording and I'll just see if there's any questions or anything that anybody's got.